Welcome into the UDDA Winner podcast on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Dan Black and SportyJordy here with you. How you doing today, Jordan?
I'm doing good. I know, Dan, you learned last week I always have to sit on my feet whenever we go live because I'm too short to be in the frame. So my feet always go numb by the end of the show. So we'll see how tonight goes.
Yeah, I always thought you just put your camera down a little bit. But
Yeah, no. I mean, I do that too. It's just not
yikes.
enough.
Jesus. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, short people problems. Fine.
Happens that way. Big day, big Wednesday, lots going on in the sports world, lots to cover. We haven't been able to talk about the draft too much yet, but we will get that opportunity today.
Yes.
But obviously we got to start with the NBA. A lot going on.
There's a lot happening.
Series. Got a couple big games tonight in Phoenix and Philly, or Phoenix and Dallas, and Philly and Miami.
Yes.
Let's start with Memphis and Golden State. That's been a very good series.
Incredible.
Extremely exciting. I mean, the Grizzlies were a shot away from being up 2-0 in the series, which in its own right would make it nuts, even more chaotic than it already is.
Just the fact that it's been this close the entire time, because I was so gung-ho about the Grizzlies coming into this postseason. Right. But with the way that they played last series, I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with Golden State. They've just been going off. Ja Morant in the first half of the Grizzlies series, round one, was non-existent. He wasn't playing like himself. So I really didn't think that this series was going to be as good as it is. But I mean, Ja Morant put up 47 last night. He's clearly found his official rhythm. He's making a name for himself now in round two and keeping this just literally every game's down to the wire. I hope this is a 7-game series that is just nuts.
And it's also been helpful that Jaren Jackson, former top pick of theirs as well, that's sort of like their pairing, their future, Shaq and Kobe, if you will. He's been finding his groove offensively. But the thing that, has been very shocking is the amount of open threes and big shots that Golden State hasn't hit.
Yes.
In the first game, the only reason it was close, I think, obviously the fact that Jaren Jackson and Ja went off, but Klay Thompson, there was a sequence towards the end of the first game where Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry all missed wide open threes, in one sitting, and that just doesn't happen.
I know, and that's the only thing that makes me nervous. And obviously, we'll get into if the Grizzlies can actually pull off the upset here and move on. But I think now we have to realize we're going into game 3. I feel like now it's all right, the guys on the Warriors, they've been missing these open shots. It's making me nervous that they're going to be come on, guys, let's just run away with this. And then all just start dominating, which if that happens, the Grizzlies do not stand a chance. But Grizzlies they're playing good defense. If Ja Morant keeps doing what Ja Morant does, Grizzlies, I honestly think stand a chance here because all they have to do exactly what they've done in games 1 and 2. Keep it very close and then close it out at the very end. So, I mean, we're tied 1-1 here now. We'll see what happens. This is my favorite series to watch so far.
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, my Klay Thompson bets have not hit because he's just not. He went 2 for 12 from 3.
I had Ja Morant over 32.5 points last night, so I was very happy. I should have went with higher odds.
Yeah, no, clear. I mean, what were the odds on that?
I think it was plus 220.
Good payday.
No, you know what? I think it was plus 120.
Still,
it was
plus
good.
Money.
They were plus odds, and I was like,
plus
what?
Money.
Might as well.
Right.
Plus 220. I think is too extreme. I think it was plus 120.
Now, the other day, I almost took the Gabe Vincent plus 5,000 first basket. So close. I'm like, but there's no way. I don't even know who this guy is.
That would have been freaking nuts.
I know. For $100 on that.
Literally pays everything. I know. I'm just gonna keep betting Ja Morant. I want him to keep doing. Me and Dan literally are the founders of the Ja Morant fan club. We love him.
He's the man.
And I texted my friend right before playoffs started, as the NBA regular season was coming to a close, I was like, Ja Morant will win MVP of the league next year. And she was like, okay, all right, whatever. Da-da-da. And then first half of round one, she was like, this guy needs to step up more, like that, because she's not super into it. She's like just getting into it. And
Right.
she was like, he's not that great. Like, and she texted me last night and she was like, I see what you were talking. She was like, I see why you're a fan of this man now. I was like, yeah.
Bit of fan.
Big
I
fan.
wonder. I do wonder what his odds are going to be for MVP next year.
I have a feeling they're going to be way like it's going to be plus odd. Like they're not going to give him enough credit, which I'm going to
Probably
throw.
not. It's going to be really good odds.
Yeah, I'm going to throw my entire life savings on it because I genuinely think he has a very real chance of doing it next season.
How crazy would that be if you win Rookie of the Year your first year, Most Improved your second year, and then MVP your third?
Literally the hat trick.
That is a hat trick. I'll never be
Insanity.
Defensive Player of the Year, but
Never. That's not what he does.
and hopefully not Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah.
Then something went wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting to that point. But what? So you really? I mean, I don't know where the Grizzlies stand in terms of like their odds to win the rest of the series. I just, as much as like I want to be on the Grizzlies, I just, and maybe it's just that Klay Thompson isn't like Klay. I find it hard to believe after all those years of being Klay Thompson that he's lost it.
Yeah.
I've seen it multiple times, even with the injury this past year, that he still has his range. But like, I just find it hard to believe that he's going to be that bad the rest of the series.
Grizzlies are, to answer your initial question, Grizzlies are at plus 1,600 to win it all.
Oh, win it all.
Win the title. I don't know about conference winner. They're plus 700. They make it there. Let's see.
That'd be.
So I might have to throw some money on. I feel like those odds are too good. I might have to throw something just in case.
Which one are you going to do? The plus 1,600?
I feel like I would do, and I might put like $10 plus 1,600 because why not? But I feel like I would definitely put money on Grizzlies plus 700 to win conference finals. I could see that.
I mean, if they get through Golden State, then
exactly. If they get through Golden State, I mean that's their biggest battle. So
right.
if you do that, it should be smooth sailing from there.
You would think.
One would think. We'll
see. Yeah, I mean, it should be a great rest of the series. I just find it hard to. I just can't see them.
Yeah, no. If we're being realistic, the Warriors are gonna finish this off. But I do think each game is going to remain close. Like I don't think the Warriors are just going to come in and start blowing them out and just get 3 wins back to back and close this thing out. Like I don't think it's going to go down that road. My gut is still telling me that Warriors win it, but I really want the Grizzlies to stay in it. Like I keep saying, I really want this to be a 7-game series. I can't get enough of this.
I very much think it could be.
Oh, 100%. If it stays like this, goes back and forth, like imagine too, next week, or when do they play next Saturday?
Probably like tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh yeah, because
tomorrow or Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow or Friday. I don't even know what day of the week it is. The next time they play, whenever it is, imagine Grizzlies win again, and then Grizzlies are up 2-1, and then that lights up a fire in Golden State. Like this just could get so nutty.
Crazy. You can get crazy with it.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm here for it as well. I think the other series that could go 7 is the Boston-Milwaukee series.
Oh, 100%.
That has all the makings of a great 7-game series.
Oh yeah, and especially just because I mean, games 1 and 2 so far have been so lopsided. Like it's like, which makes it like you have no idea how to predict where this is gonna go.
Right. And I just like don't know how to even look at this series. I really don't.
Like I have a very hard time gauging it.
Me too. Part of me wants to put my money on Giannis, just once again proving that he's the best in the league. But then part of me is like, Boston's really good defensively, and they have more pieces.
Yeah. I have $100 that would pay out, 660 if Celtics win the title. And I did that before this series started. And then game 1 happened, and I was like, "Oh, no." And then game 2 and then game 2, I was like, "There we go." Like, if we're looking from, like, this season moving into round 1, if the Celtics play at their best, the
Mhm.
Celtics win this series, even if it goes to like, the Celtics should win. But
I
then
agree.
at the same time, you can't expect the best from everyone game in and game out. And if you slip up, you're playing the Bucks. Like if you slip up, if you have a bad night and the Bucks get ahead, the Bucks can easily take this thing. So I am a little nervous, but I still something in me is just telling me that this is the Celtics year. And that's like I love Giannis. He is one of my favorite people, not even in the league, like on this earth. I just adore him. So obviously I
Yeah,
don't like to root against him, but something about the Celtics right now, I just think it's their time.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean they are minus 135 to win this series. And by the way, the Grizzlies are plus 235
To win the
to win
series,
their series.
I might
Um,
have to do that.
right. So not bad. So they really don't see much of a difference. Part of me just feels like I want to take the Bucks just because I believe in Giannis as like the closer, and they find ways
Yeah.
more times than not. And I don't trust Jalen Brown as much as I love his game and how much he's grown. I don't trust him
Yeah.
to be that 30-point scorer. Like that's just not his role. Um, and I feel like, especially if they go home, I feel like Milwaukee at home is just gonna get this like sort of breath of fresh air, especially after getting punched in the face the other day.
Yeah.
And they're gonna win 2 in a row, and it's gonna get ugly. I
I
just
just
I that's just and Milwaukee's plus money right now. So
yeah.
we love that.
No, we love that. We always love plus money. I know. I can easily because like I just sat here and said like I have Celtics winning the entire thing this year.
Right.
But at the same time, it's hard to bet against Milwaukee. So this series is another one that's going to be really exciting up until the very end. And I'm excited for game 3 of this one just because games 1 and 2 have literally been each team just like punching each other in the
Right.
face, like
It's just
square in the jaw
haymakers.
once. Yeah. It's like, all right, I knocked you out. You knocked me out. Like, let's
Right.
go. Like, so now
Exactly.
I'm excited to see is it just going to keep being like
Like
so
chaos.
lopsided or are we going to get some close games to finish it off? So it's intense. The
Yeah.
one that makes me, really nervous, the series that makes me really nervous right now, um, is our Sixers, Dan.
Ooh, yeah. It's not good.
I feel like this could be really gruesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, based on what we saw on, Inside the Paint the other night, that was just not good.
Yeah,
They
no.
they I think they got out rebounded on the offensive glass like 15-6. It was just like not even a contact. It was, and listen, Tyler Hero's a streaky guy. He's not gonna hit that. And the Sixers were streaky the opposite way from three. No one could hit a three. They
Yeah.
shot 17%. You imagine if they hit five more threes, they're up to 20% and they may win the game. Um, no DeAndre Jordan, unfortunately. He will be in, but like I cross my fingers the day that DeAndre Jordan isn't a Sixer.
Yeah, no. Doc Rivers' press conference the other night really, really made me wanna light things on fire. I was in fear. I was like,
Commit arson.
yeah, I was like, "Doc, you're really pushing me to commit arson right now if you keep talking about DeAndre." Like, it was just infuriating because it was like, I get it, you respect him, but at the same time, this is the playoffs and we're without Joel Embiid. Like, you need to give us the best chance to win and the best chance to win right now. And your logic and your reasoning is not going to get us there.
Right.
So I've been off the Doc bandwagon for a
A
very,
while. Oh
very
yeah,
long
me
time
too.
now. And that was kind of like the nail
Since
in the
last year.
coffin. Yeah, I was like, "All right, I'm done with you. You
Well,
can go."
and it's just like 2 years in a row. He's made giant statements about a player that everyone else sees as
Yeah.
the complete opposite, and they turn out to be right. It's like the Ben Simmons thing where he's like, praise him for what he does. We're like, what does he do well? We're
Yeah.
all watching the same thing. We watched it for years. We know this better than you do. What are you talking about? And then we turned out to be right. And then the same thing with DeAndre Jordan. We're like, he can't play anymore.
Yeah.
He's been on, this is his third team this season. Like, he can't play.
Yeah, no, it's something. It's really I don't know where it feels like to me he's like that kind of guy that just likes to like pick the hot take and stick to it because then if he's right, he looks
Right.
really
It
good,
looked really good.
but he consistently is wrong. So I'm like, you
Right.
need to let go of this.
And he's choosing the wrong take.
Yes.
Like, it just, like, doesn't make sense. It's like
Yeah,
you
I
have
was
2
like, you don't have to have I was like, you're the head coach, you wanna win, like, you don't have to have these polarizing opinions, like, you're not a sports
just to
talk
win,
analyst. You are trying to win games, so do what you have to do to win these freaking games.
unless he's on someone's book or something.
Who freaking
That's the
knows?
only rationale is that he has a bet he's pulling, like, an opposite Pete Rose. He's betting against the Sixers, and that's the only reason he wants to keep DeAndre Jordan and refuses to play
Then I would
B-Ball Paul and
actually
Bassey.
yeah, no, then I would actually have to commit arson.
That's
That would be my
fair.
final straw.
That'd be fair.
Thank you.
But, like, I just don't get what he's doing half the like, I get it. B-Ball Paul and Bassey, not great. Like, I'm not no one's saying they're great. But the reality is you had, like, you had all season to actually, like, play them and get them used to, like, playing in big moments and playing, 15, 20 minutes a game. You could rotate them together, all 3 of them even if you wanted to, and figured it out. And he just, like, I don't get the stubbornness.
Yeah.
I don't
No, it's
understand the stubbornness.
yeah. No, it's like he makes a point and he just wants to be right and he will run it into the ground and make us all suffer. And in the end, guess what? He still isn't right. So it was worth nothing. But
I
I
agree.
saw a lot of reports today that there could be some NBA execs in Philadelphia
It's
on
not the MVP.
Friday.
No. Don't start.
Does Joel Embiid win MVP on Friday?
No.
Why?
Dude, because they all love Jokic.
No! I'm sick of it.
Like, yeah, they've already said it. He had March. The March he had, they just like they needed a reason to not give it to Joel Embiid and give it to Jokic. They wanted it to be Jokic all year.
I know.
They did.
I know. The
And like
NBA
it took
hates
him having
Joel.
an unreal month of March and recency bias, and like boom, gets the
I
MVP.
hate it here.
I do too. Makes I don't agree with it. I think for a season long thing,
It's Embiid. It's Embiid.
I agree. I don't disagree with you. The facts are the facts. Now it's probably for the scoring title, which is great. It should be fun. I'm going to the game and I'd love to see, that, but let's be real here.
If you're at the game and Joel Embiid wins MVP, how will you react?
I'll be shocked more than anything at first. That'd be so hype. Because then I know he's also gonna drop 40.
Exactly. With the face mask.
Yeah. Oh, face mask and bead. Should do a poll. Should do a poll on the greatest. Who's ranking the greatest face mask players?
Yeah. No,
Because
we'll
like
clip this
face
off and
mask
get this out.
LeBron,
Or
different beast.
face mask Embiid.
Face mask and bead, different beast. Rip Hamilton initiated the face mask, beast. It's like the number 99. Find me a guy with the number 99 that was bad in sports. Never. They don't give it to anybody that's bad.
I mean, unless you're Urban Meyer and you don't know who Aaron Donald is.
Exactly.
Frickin', I will never get over that.
The number 99 in sports and face masks on basketball players, different cats. Different cats, I'm telling you.
I love it.
Different beast.
I love it.
beast.
Well,
Right.
speaking of making an NFL reference, perfect segue. We just did a lot of NBA playoff talk, but we also had the NFL draft last weekend. Give me some of your thoughts surrounding how you thought the draft actually went, because there wasn't a lot of hype around this draft. Like, it wasn't exciting, but I thought it was like next level. There were trades all the time. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah, I thought the Jets did a great job.
Yes.
They hit on everything. I think the Eagles did a phenomenal job, all around. Um, I feel like the Colts did a nice job. They usually do a good job drafting.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the Giants did a nice job. They got Thibodeau, falling
Yeah.
to him. They got an offensive lineman, which is needed. So I think they did a nice job. Obviously, they still need a quarterback. Um, there weren't many that like I hated. I hated the Jaguars draft.
So would you say the
Hated it.
Jags lost?
Yeah, I hated the Jaguars draft. I thought the guy that drafted Trayvon Walker, I'm not in on him at all. They traded up back into the first round. They gave up like a few draft picks for for Devin Lloyd, which I never say to draft West Coast related defensive players because they are never as good. And he's just like an off ball linebacker. Like it made no sense. He
Yeah.
wasn't they could have got him in the second round. Made no sense. The Patriots reached for an offensive lineman, which was very weird.
And they took a quarterback, which I don't understand.
I don't understand it either.
Because clearly Mac Jones proved, and clearly they saw good things in Mac Jones before last season even started, because they released Cam Newton when they could have kept him for the year. So clearly they saw a lot from Mac Jones that they liked. Mac Jones has this incredible rookie season with a team that's still in, like, I don't want to say a rebuild because they're not there, but still kind of figuring out their identity in the post Tom Brady era. And he's so, like, I don't understand, especially when you have guys like Nick Foles just got released. And obviously they didn't know that in hindsight, but I feel like there are backup quarterback options where, because clearly, like, you need someone behind Mac Jones. I get it. But to waste a draft pick in a draft class that has so much depth, I didn't see the point in it.
Yeah, I didn't either. It didn't make any sense to me. And yeah, I mean their first round pick was the first that was the first of the I mean, Jahan Dotson was maybe a reach pick for Washington, but like their first round pick was a reach. Like
Yeah.
a very big reach. And
Yeah.
I don't get that. But then again, they're the Patriots and we'll let them do it. The Cowboys also had a horrible draft.
Horrible. I was going to say that. I was like, I'm not trying to sound biased here. Ignore my Eagles jersey hanging up behind me. But and it's frustrating because they did go, like, they drafted positions that were need-based positions.
Right.
But they, like, didn't take best available at any. They, like, got these, like, random guys. They were reaching the whole time.
The entire time.
And I was kind of sitting back, and this is my bias. So I was sitting back and I was like, okay, Cowboys, keep this up. I love it. Because last year getting Micah Parsons, we saw how much of a difference he made on their defense just in his rookie year alone. But
yeah,
they really confused me. I was like, what the heck are you guys doing?
So, like, which team do you think has the best, like, worst to first after the draft? Which team do you think has, like, the best chance of that?
Hands down, the Jets. Hands down.
Worst to first with the Bills?
That's what I was just going to say. Granted, it sucks that they're in the
Worst
AFC.
to wild card, maybe.
Well, I was going to say I don't know if I want to put this much hype on them
Do
early,
it.
But the Jets low-key could be good. Like, and if they come out and win, and by good, I don't mean I don't even necessarily see them a playoff team, maybe, but realistically, I mean, the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger last year snuck in and got a wild card spot. And with all the picks that the Jets just snagged, like, all these guys, they got, like, best of in, like, almost every position on, like, offense and defense. Like, I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was like, how are you even making this happen? It was like, I mean, I'm sitting there. I thought the Ravens were going to take Jermaine Johnson at 25, and then they didn't. So I was like, the Jets literally just committed armed robbery. Like, it was nuts. So I'm going to go on a limb and say Jets have 8 wins this season, which, because they're in the AFC, I don't know if that If they were in the NFC, 100% a wild card team, but because they're in the NFC and there's so much competition, I don't know if I want to go that far, but I think they're going to have a quick turnaround. And in the next 3 years, they're going to be a playoff team, like consistently.
Who could you see like after the draft completely dismantle, discombobulate?
I mean,
I'd put my bet on the Cowboys.
I was gonna say Cowboys won. I think Eagles, after what we did, as long as everyone comes out and plays well, we win the division hands down.
I agree.
And the team, it's frustrating because like the teams that did awful were teams that are already awful. Like
Right.
the Texans, I didn't really get. The Jags, I didn't get. So like these are teams that like are at the bottom of the barrel
Packers.
anyway. Packers, oh my god, Packers. I don't understand the logic. You lose Devontae Adams in free agency, and then you go into the first round with 2 draft picks, and you're like, cool, let's get 2 defensive guys from Georgia. And I'm like, who is Aaron Rodgers throwing to? And then on round 2, they're like, guys, look at this. We're going to trade up and take a receiver. I was like, y'all should have done that in round Jets. Packers could have traded up with the Texans and moved up to like 3 and been like, you know what? We're taking a receiver now. And I would have been like, good for you. Do it. And they didn't. And then they thought they could get flashy on round 2. I was like, no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
the NFC North had a weird draft. Like the Vikings, I think the Vikings actually did a nice job. I think
did very well.
But like the Lions traded up 20 spots for a wide receiver, which I found. I like Jameson Williams. I like Jameson Williams. That's a lot to give up for a rookie wide receiver, especially when you already have wide receivers. Like that wasn't like a position of need as much.
Well, kind of. They needed depth. When you looked at their depth chart, like before last season started, they had like 4 wide receivers that were all free agents that they just did not resign. And I was like, okay, granted, it was like Danny Amendola.
Right,
Guys
it wasn't like anybody
great. But like still, I was like, you bring in Jared Goff. I was like, you don't really have anyone. They have TJ Hawkinson, who's a stud, but I was like, they need more flashy pieces. And they had, like, if you look at the rest of their draft, like they got a bunch of guys on defense. They went linebacker, like they added depth at tight end, like they got a bunch of pieces. So I didn't mind them trading up because they still had enough draft capital, especially from the Matt Stafford trade, to make that happen. But, I thought they did well.
We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
I was a big Justin Fields stockholder. I'm selling my stock, not because I don't like him, just because the Bears decided to hire a defensive coordinator as their head coach and drafted 2 defensive players in the first round. And I'm just like, all right, they're not helping this guy. Like, he's screwed.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I love Justin Fields and I'm excited for his future. But his future, he's not about to pop off this season. The Bears are doing what they did prior. They have that old mentality. If defenses win championships, which is like
it's not wrong.
It's not wrong. I was just gonna say down the road, like in the next couple of years, when the Bears already have this scary defense and they start acquiring pieces for Justin Fields, like the Bears will be scary. But right now, it feels very lopsided. They're not giving Justin Fields the best opportunity to win. So I'm not expecting that much from the Bears.
No, neither am I. And I that's what I feel bad for him because he's gonna get a ton of blame, and it's like
it's not him. It wasn't him last season. It's not him this year. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna do the best that he can do. But I'm just, when you don't really have anyone there with you, what are you supposed to do?
I agree.
Wow, Bears win more than the Colts. I can't see that happening.
No way that happens.
I can't see that happening.
Not a shot in hell.
Jonathan Taylor will single-handedly win 17 games for the Colts by himself. Like,
that's true. That's a valid point. That's very true. We're selling the Justin Fields stock for 2022.
Yeah, for sure. I'll pick it back up in 2023, depending on how they do. I'm not giving up on Justin Fields. I just can't see the Bears offense thriving.
I agree. I agree. All right, before we hop off, Jordy, 2 games tonight. What do you think goes on? Suns and Mavericks and Sixers Heat.
I want to pull up the lines real quick so I can give an accurate, but I'm very nervous for the Sixers after what we saw in game 1. I had the Sixers covering 7.5, and that was something I bet with my heart, which I never should do. The Heat's getting 8 tonight. Part of me wants to fall back into the trap where I'm like, I'll take Sixers plus 8 tonight. Like, they'll cover tonight. But
Right.
I'm very nervous. There's no point in putting any money on Heat money line. It's the odds are literally minus
Yeah. You're better
400, which
putting it on
is
the spread.
yeah. So if you're gonna bet Heat minus 8. I also like the under 208 in this if our offense looks anything like it did last week.
The under's a way to go.
Yeah, the Sixers, it's sad right now. I really don't think we stand a chance until we get Embiid back Friday, but it's looking ugly. Suns, Mavs, I honestly might take Mavs plus 6 tonight.
Mavs plus 6.
I kind of like that.
I'm gonna find an alt spread. I think the Suns win by double figures.
Really?
I mean, literally the last game, Luka had to go out of his mind, and Maxi Kleber had like 8 threes. He's not
That's
doing
true.
that again.
That's true.
They have no help. He has no help.
It's true.
It literally is like a 1-on-5 situation. It's all horrible. Yeah, I think I like the Sixers to cover because I can't imagine. I think they figured out how to deal with Bam Adebayo because
Yeah.
after he went off in the first quarter, like he scored like 12 or 14 points, and then he had like 12 the rest of the game. So they figured him out a bit.
Well, that was frustrating. The Sixers quarters 1 through 3 kept it close. Like
Right.
the Heat got ahead here and there, but then they always brought it back. And for the most part, I was like, oh, like they are easily going to be like they kept it between 6 and 9 points majority of the time. And then it was that fourth quarter where they literally just like gave up. And then the Heat didn't miss.
Yeah. No, I think I don't think the Heat go off as much as they did.
Yeah.
Specifically, Tyler Hero, he went off in the fourth quarter. I don't think the Sixers are nearly as bad. And like, there's just a part of me that's like, we're gonna see James Harden. Like this is his. Like this game is it. If they go down 2-0, they're not winning for the next 5. They call the series off. Like it's over. If they go down 2-0, he needs to find for this one game. He needs to find however he can 2017 James Harden.
Sixers money line is plus 300. Do I do it?
I know.
I might have to.
Do it.
Parlay under 208 and Sixers money line. What would the odds be?
Probably like plus
663.
Wow. Do it.
I'm doing it.
Do it.
Sixers money line tonight, baby. Let's go.
Love that.
James Harden over 40 points.
No. See, God, no. Don't get crazy here. Getting crazy with the money lines.
I know.
Not go insane here, Joker. Jesus.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I they did keep it so close, and like, there's, the money line is scaring me.
It's hard. I cannot remove my heart from this series. So it's making it very difficult to bet.
No, because I literally just I just feel it in my heart, like James Harden has one more big game.
Yeah.
And like it has to be tonight.
And it has to be this game.
And like I know Joel's like hyping him up. Like, yo, this is it. This is like your time to shine. Like you gotta find it.
And what's frustrating too is I literally know how the Sixers operate. If James Harden starts balling, you're going to have Tobias Harris filling himself. You're going to have Tyrese Maxey.
They're going to crush.
And then it's just going to be like wildfire and they're just going to go off. James Harden, put the Sixers on your back tonight and get it done. Thank you.
I hope so. We'll see. All right. Well, 2 great games tonight. James Harden, will he go off? Will he not? We'll see. We'll talk about it next week, hopefully. Make sure if you haven't already to download the UDDA app and follow us on all our socials at UDDA_winner. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.